studios when you hear, please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime, on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Coming up on 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds stations. Have fun.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Rice Sports Network. On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield, live from Acme Oyster House. Welcome to the Mike Bloomgren Show. Acme Oyster House. Life's more fun with seafood. The Mike Bloomgren Show is brought to you by The Parking Spot. We have airport parking covered. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716. Lighting up Rice University and Houston for over 100 years. Now, alongside Coach Bloomgren, here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Hey, welcome back. We made it. We are back here at Acme Oyster House, 1201 Westheimer. It is great to be here. My final swan song here with the Bloomgren shows. I'll be in Vegas next week with Rice Hoops, but you'll be in great hands. Nate will be here hosting in my stead. On the show tonight, we take a defensive backs theme. We have a guy coming off a career-high tackle game, the one and only Sean Fresh. Sean, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Sean was nice enough to join us post-game there down in the Alamo City and doing the double-double. Coming back and joining us here on a nice, pretty mild Monday night here in the Bayou City. We also have Al's first-year corners coach, Jeremy Motkins, joining us on the show. His unit has played very well this year. And then we, there's right on cue there, right on cue. Jessica Morial will join us, Al's on-campus director of recruiting. She's got a very interesting backstory. We'll talk about that. And then Coach will come back and we'll preview Biff Poggi and his Charlotte 49ers. They've been playing a lot better as of late. And that game coming up here on Saturday will be in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. Substandard Barbecue, where the Owls will be taking on a Charlotte team. That's at 1 o'clock our time, and 12:30 is the Houston Methodist pregame show coming up here. I always got to get my barbecue digs in there. Sorry. But if you did not see it today, our kick has been announced for the FAU game coming up for the regular season finale and the senior honor game. And that's at noon. That's a high noon kickoff coming up a week from Saturday on ESPN Plus. And ESPN Plus was also streaming the broadcast coming up on Saturday from Charlotte. And as always, you can sync us up, syncmygame.com on that one too. If you'd like to get young Nathaniel. Doesn't really matter for the audiences that's here because I don't think Nate is viewing right now because he is at birthday dinner. Good to see young Nate, 75 and kicking, still doing great things. I'll have to clip this and send it to him and blame it on his former broadcast partner, Patrick Creighton there. But, yeah, no, love the guy. Happy birthday to Nate. And shout out to Sydney serving us here, Timmy running things back in the kitchen, Walter here and Clara back in the studio for keeping us on air. We're also the mass of fans that have come up and say, hey, JP, will you turn the camera on when you're on? Is that getting me? Too much of my noggin? See, Walter's saying doesn't have enough of my noggin. So perks of live producing on air, and then I'll just have to switch it back when Boss comes up here. But anyway, there you are. We're streaming on the Owls YouTube and Facebook and Twitter pages as well, and we're also on the Rice Owls Game Day app, the Varsity Network app, and ricehouse.com on the audio side of things, too. We got a great crowd here at Acme Oyster House. They're very rice-friendly. We have one more show coming up next week before the FAU game, 7 until 8 p.m. here. It is getting late in the season, but some big games coming up here the next 2 weeks. But enough of me yapping, as I like to say. We'll talk to the head boss man himself, Dunleavy family head football coach Mike Bloomgren. Coming up next, it's the Mike Bloomgren Show live here at Acme Oyster House. Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Football fans are passionate, just like John Deere fans. And if you're a John Deere person, the name to know is Shoppers. In football, it's about calling the right plays. The right call for John Deere equipment is Shoppers. Shoppers has a right-sized John Deere tractor with attachments for any job. You can build your tractor online with Shoppers' exclusive Build It, Price It, Own It tool. See all our John Deere specials by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. It's time for you to make the right call. Shoppers, equipment for your piece of Texas, and proud sponsor of Rice Owl Athletics.
Hey, Oscar, wake up. Hi, this is Otis and Oscar, the talking spokes oysters for Acme Oyster House. You've probably seen us on TV. My friend Oscar is, sleeping. You know, we oysters like our beds. Anyway, drop by tonight for a dozen raw, a dozen char grilled, a seafood platter or po' boy, and maybe a few laughs. Come Acme, bro. Not you. Acme Oyster House. Life's more fun with seafood.
Owls fans, you may not think of yourself as an athlete, but everyday life is full of athletic feats. You bend, you reach, you lift, you twist until back, neck, or shoulder pain hits, which brings you to a stop. So whether you're an athlete or not, the Joint Chiropractic can help ease your pain and keep you on the active list. Visit any of our 40-plus Houston area locations or thejoint.com today to get your first consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Rice University Athletics.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Highlighting the Owls on the gridiron. Welcome back to the Mike Bloomgren Show.
Yes. Welcome back here at Acme Oyster House. So great here in the Montrose area, 1201 Westheimer. And it is a great spot. They've got Monday Night Football cranking up now, college hoops on the TV, and some great grub. There's this mass, piles and piles of seafood at the rice table to my left. And I know you all are wondering, what did he have on his last show? Well, I had to go strong with the meat pies, Coach. And Walter and I threw down some char-grilled oysters and then some shrimp tacos to go. So little bits.
The char-grilled oysters are unbelievable.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like how that technology exists. I don't know. But all right, this is Dunleavy family head football coach interrupting his food reviews, talking about that game against UTSA, 34-14 setback. What were some overall thoughts on that with some positives in there, but I know tough place to play, but what are your overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts are like we came out of that first half, and it's like, man, I can't believe how poorly we played offensively, and the fact that it's a 10-7 game, and what a testament to our defense that is. You know, they really kept us in that game from plays like Isaiah's getting the ball out and looking like he was going to go 95 yards with it, but just right on down the line, guys making play after play. You know, the guy you got on tonight, you know, not only is Sean doing a great job in coverage, but he's a tackler. He is a physical tackler, and he's asked to do that so many times in these last few games, and he's just always come up and made the play. So there's so many guys over there that are playing so hard, and I never question how hard we're playing at any point in time. I think what happened in that third quarter was a bad moment against a really good football team. And you look up at the scoreboard, and it's not 10-7 anymore. It's 24-7. And you know, you're reeling after a really short period of time on the clock. You go 3 and out on offense with a couple really bad missed decisions. Then they go and score after we really get off the field on 4th and 2. We have a bad decision by a defensive player that keeps the drive alive. We go 3 and out, and the punt return comes back about as fast as we kicked it. So, like I said, then it's 24-7. The game's a little different. And we still struggle to kind of get our sea legs under us and play our best offensive football. And we talked about it after the game in the presser. It's the quarterback gets too much credit and too much blame, but we're a quarterback-driven offense, and if we can't get people lined up and get the ball snapped, it's really hard to execute, and that's where it starts. And the problem is we did it really well in practice, and we've got to be able to keep our poise in the noise, as we say, and be able to execute. And I think it was a great learning opportunity for AJ, and I think he had a really good day today. He and Chase and seeing JT back in the bubble was awesome. And the ball that Luke threw today was amazing. So, we got a lot of healthy quarterbacks, a lot of people that can do it. And so it's a good place to be compared to where we were a few weeks ago.
Speaking of AJ, there were some productive drives at the end of the half and the end of the game. What were your thoughts that went well on those drives that obviously could be duplicated in as many drives as possible?
Sure. Yeah, I think that the drive at the end of the half was outstanding. I think he saw everything really clearly. Took his drop, got the ball out on time, and it was really well executed. I thought the throw to Luke for the touchdown was a high level of difficulty throw. And it shows you the arm talent that AJ has and the possibilities that he has. Now, we just need him to be able to execute things like that all the time, because there was things that certainly weren't to that difficulty level that we weren't able to get done. And again, really confident we'll be able to get those things going forward.
And I know, just preface it, Coach doesn't know too much going until tomorrow, but to ask the question anyway, anything else known on JT Daniels right now after missing the last game?
No, he didn't practice today, but again, great to have Matt practice and see him around there. And, certainly as soon as the doctor's clear, we're going to give him an opportunity to get back in that game. That's what we know. And hopefully sooner rather than later.
Another factoid I just dug up, Luke McCaffrey now over 1,500 career yards. You mentioned that great catch. Sixth player in school history with at least 10 TD receptions in a season, a guy that's going to be playing this game a long time. And I tell other folks that haven't seen him play when they're just asking me about the team, well, you wouldn't know he ever played quarterback. That's just what type of freak athlete he is, isn't he?
He is a freak athlete. But because he did play quarterback, I think that's one of the things that lends itself to him being so good at receiver and seeing the game through the eyes of a quarterback, knowing exactly where to be, knowing that the quarterback's trusting you to cross this guy's face or be in this spot on time. And Luke does a really good job doing that. And, a testament to that is something I don't think we talked about on this show, is that he has received an invite for the Shrine Bowl, which will be played in Dallas, Texas this year. It was in Vegas last year, and Ken Chuku got to participate in that. So it's really cool that they love our Rice players and that they've already invited Luke, with more invites possibly on the way.
Yeah, that came down since our last show, I guess. He also has 16 career touchdowns. That ties for 5th all-time at Rice. But also on the defensive side, you mentioned this partly. Isaiah Floyd had that strip, and it was unlike anything I've ever seen. I almost rubbed my eyes and say, okay, what did I see there? And going back, how about Isaiah Floyd and the job he's done in the middle of that D-line this year?
Yeah, I think he's playing really good football. I think the combination of those guys, whether you're talking about him, to Braylon Carroll, and, anytime Blake gets in there, those guys are doing an awesome job. But in particular was probably one of his better games. And certainly when you get a takeaway like that and rumble, bumble, stumble to the 10-yard line, that was pretty fun to watch.
So no danger of him bothering Coach Settle to get in the backfield, because Chuck showed me a really good pic of him cradling it.
It looks good. And, like Isaiah has been, as you know, he's played guard for us. And he started in our short yards and goal line stuff on years where he wasn't starting to guard after he moved to defense. And he's always hitting me up about like, hey, I'm ready for it. He's never talked about carrying the ball, but I'm sure that will start now.
Just got to take it away more.
Absolutely.
On the defensive side. Speak more about the defense and how the things that were, when they were going well, kind of the reverse question when I talked about the offense earlier. What did you like, some of the positives coming out of the defense in that game?
Yeah, I think the positives were we were able to get off the field some. I think they were 4-12 on third down, and that's a good number against a really talented outfit. Frank being back and making some plays and some throws. He's going to do that, and that's fine. That you understand that. The thing that we didn't do as well as I thought we were capable of is consistently stop the run. There were times that we did, and we got them behind the sticks, and we were able to get off the field. But when they were able to just mash us and move the ball and move that front, that got a little bit of a scary movie there at a point in that game where it's like, gosh, we got to find a way to get this dude on the ground. And again, it's never just the front; it's the linebackers and everybody fitting in concert like you need to. But it's interesting. I thought our linebackers played really well. I thought Myron Morrison was flying around. I thought he played really physical. So there's always good in every game. There was a lot of good on the defensive side of this ball, but defense is one of those things that, like, it's such a measure of consistency, because you can do so good on 5 plays in a row, but if you give up a big play, you're not a very good defense. And I think we are a very good defense, but we got to eliminate those momentary lapses where we have a communication issue, we have a missed tackle, or we don't play with the proper leverage.
We've broken down in past weeks the close losses recently to SMU, Tulane. Now you play the quirks of the scheduling, the third team that's also tied for first place inside the league. And we asked you coming in about that. You said, hey, it's on the schedule. But now that you're out of that, I know there are never deep breaths and you always take everybody seriously. But with the last 2 games remaining against non-first place teams, does that seem like more manageable coming down the stretch instead of going into it like that?
No, I don't know, JP. I know why you would say that, because you look at the record and you assume it's not going to be a very good team, but you look across it and you watch the film and they're a talented football team. I think like everybody is in this conference. You look at their defensive end, number 0. He's been at 5 schools, but he started his college football career as the number 4 prospect in America. Went to Alabama and was an all-SEC freshman player there. So, I mean, there's talent all throughout their roster. So it's going to be a great challenge, but as I told the team today, it's not going to be about what they do. It's going to be about how we perform, how we prepare this week, and then how we execute on Saturday, because we're more than enough to win this game.
We'll break down Coach Poggi's team a little bit more, but you get a chance to meet him and his unique backstory. It's one of the cooler backstories in all of college football, regardless of level. Right?
Yeah, I actually recruited a player from his prior school, from Gilman, and really got a chance to get to know him a little bit, and certainly knew of him from our ties at Stanford, but signed Devery Hamilton from his high school back in the day, and Devery always spoke so highly of Coach Poggi, and you see like players really do rally to him.
So no sleeveless Mike Bloomgren shirts anytime soon?
I just don't think the gun show is going to come out this year.
Okay, not yet. No. Speak to the guys on the show again. Sean Fresh coming up here next segment, but also Coach Modkins, his position coaches. Corners and other settings have told me what a difference Coach Modkins has made. So if you can elaborate on those two for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Sean, I feel like we've talked about him forever. And, gosh, he's a redshirt junior now, and he's playing like a veteran, The PBUs, the confidence. And there's still so much more that Sean can continue to grow at. That's what's got to be cool for him. He knows he's playing at a high level, but there's still so much more that he can do. And, the cool thing is Coach Modkins is always challenging him. And I just think that relationship has been really cool to watch. And I think that's worth you talking to Sean about, because when you bring in a new coach, you never know how it's going to go. And I'm sure Sean went into it with an open mind, but this has been a blessing. And Sean's been a blessing for our team to have in this program. We know how fast he is. We know it from when we made him run the 40 at our camp like 7 times, because none of us would believe our watch, and line it up again, let's do it. And he just kept running and kept competing, and that's who he is. Coach Modkins, a guy that grew up in Marlin, Texas, and played at TCU under Coach Patterson, under Gary Patterson, then played, we got a couple cups of coffee in the NFL, and then coached under Gary for a number of years and worked his way up to become the corners coach at TCU, and actually got a chance to play him in the bowl game. My last year at Stanford, played him in the Alamo Bowl, and was always so impressed with their defense and how Coach Patterson coached it and planned it, to how his coaches delivered that message and how hard everybody over there played. And the year in between TCU and us, he was with the Minnesota Vikings. And so just getting some more of that pro football flavor and being able to inject that into our system, the NFL mindset, the NFL curriculum, if you will, that we recruit to. So it's been awesome having Jeremy and his family in this program, to say the least.
Hey, Coach, thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Be back a little bit more with Dunleavy Family and Football Coach for Rice Owls, Mike Bloomgren, talking more about those Charlotte 49ers. Stay tuned. Coming up next, the pride of Austin, Texas, Sean Fresh joining us here at the high table. It's the Mike Bloomgren Show live here at Acme Oyster House from Learfield.
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment. 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling, the official beer partner of Rice Athletics, and now available for purchase everywhere in Texas. The Yingling Company, Fort Worth, Texas. Please enjoy responsibly.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
Getting bled. Down he goes.
The speed.
40, there he goes. Down the sideline.
Western College football.
For the end zone. Got it for 6 points. You cannot hitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the barn. Back to the end zone.
This is the College Football Blitz. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network.
Behind every door at Houston Methodist, you know what to expect. Expertise. Whether it's life-saving brain surgery, your 3D mammogram that catches breast cancer sooner, or orthopedic specialists helping you feel stronger than ever. With hundreds of doors across Houston, you can get expert care everywhere.
That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Rice teams and traditions are legendary. Our team as strategic wealth designers are proud to be a partner of Rice Athletics. What an honor to be working together. When you're ready to discuss your financial future, call the team the Owls trust. We look forward to creating your winning strategy for retirement. Visit us at swdgroup.com today and go Owls.
This is the Mike Bloomgren Show, live at Acme Oyster House. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes. Welcome back here at Acme Oyster House, 1201 Westheimer, the Montrose area. It is the Mike Bloomgren Show. We've got Sean Fresh in seconds, his position coach Jeremy Montkins, and then Director of On-Campus Recruiting Jessica Morey coming up as the cleanup hitter to talk all things on that front. So, near the top of the Rice Owls roster. In other years, he'd be at the top, but they started adding zeros, so I guess you got Jordan Campbell, Dean Connors, but we all know who the real number one on the Rice Owls is. It's the one and only pride of LBJ High in Austin, Texans, right?
Austin, Texas, you got it.
Yeah. LBJ, your mascot, though, is that?
It's Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Yes,
See,
sir.
I just was trying to make up a mascot for you. So, what was that 40 time that coach and the staff made you keep running over? He was just talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was so I got up to the line to run the 40 and a little nervous, but just ready to go. I ran a 4.39 hand time, and they made me line up and run it again, this time with Coach Bloom being at the end of the line.
Senior in high school, we're talking?
Senior in high school.
Okay.
This is summer, right before my senior season, and yeah, it's time to go. And I got up there and ran a 4.39, I believe it was, hand time, and Coach Bloom saw it, and I had to come back for a second camp to, prove it for Coach Bloom, and yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't like 5 or 6 times in a row, because I think you'd be kind of winded.
I would have, but
okay,
yeah, not that exhausting.
Okay, is that the fastest you've ever run it?
I think that is. That whole summer I was going to a lot of football camps, and I think that was at the end of the summer, so the Rice camp, and yeah, I really like the campus. I've been to the school a lot of times, so I guess it was just in me to run my fastest at Rice. So yeah.
Refresh us of that path to Rice, because I remember you telling me in past chats that you had some other offers. What do you remember about that time and that recruiting, and what led you to Rice?
Honestly, man, it kind of felt like it was destined. If you ask my mom about it, it's like being a Texas kid, I went to plenty elementary schools and middle schools where we actually had field trips taken to Rice University. So I'd seen the campus already plenty of times. It was a beautiful campus, great school. And my mom always used to tell me, she's like, hey, look, this is going to be your school. And sometimes I'd just be like, I don't know, Mom, it's okay. But just the school being what it is, the environment, Houston, being in Houston, Coach Bloom and the staff, and it just felt destined. It really fit me. But I had other Texas offers, and they just didn't suit me as well as Rice University.
Yeah, like we say in the past to many players, Mama knows, right? Mama
yes,
knows.
Sir. Yep, exactly. She did.
What have stood out these first 3 years or so now to you as far as where you have matured on and off the field so far?
I mean, honestly, growth is the word. I mean, as a program, we've grown. I've grown myself, and since I got here, it's just been improvement each and every year. Bloom has harped on, just improvement every single year, and that growth factor, we've just grown better every single season, and it's been a blessing.
You had a career-high 9 tackles in that game this past Saturday. You're very modest when you talk to us. Appreciate you coming on post-game with us. But that was a tough game. But what was it on your side of things, the way you viewed it, to lead to such a career-high effort there?
You know, I was talking to some guys on the team and talking to some coaches. Teams really like to run the ball my way. You know, I'm not sure what they see on film or whatever like that, but I'll just keep accepting the challenge. And, you know, there was some tackles I had to make in coverage as well with, you know, I got caught on and I had to make that tackle as well. So I just go out and, you know, try to play my best game and be physical. And, you know, that's what I go out there and do every single day. It's just my job, but I go out there and have fun each and every game. So, yeah.
I remember you talking to us after the game at Texas, and I'm sure is that case for UTSA, having family so close, being an Austin guy. How cool is that? Even though I'm sure they come to most of the home games at Rice, but kind of playing in your own backyard there a few times this year, right?
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely just a great experience going down and playing in Austin and in front of my family and stuff like that, and even a lot of my friends and, you know, my guys that I went to high school with and middle school, and just even some other people that I had, you know, close to my family that used to watch me. It was just a cool experience.
So Nate and I talk, and I lean to him, of course, on the football knowledge side of things, but we talked about how everything's improved since Coach Modkins has come here. So what has he done to improve not just you, but Trey D and the other guys that are back there in your positions?
Man, I mean, it's a lot. I can't even, like, put it all in. I can't give it all to you, you know, in this one sitting, but it's just a blessing to have him. Like you said, improvement and just the work ethic that he's not only just instilled in us, but the knowledge and the, you know, just the experience level that he brings to us is it's a blessing, and I couldn't ask for a better coach, honestly. I mean, what he's given us in terms of, like, you know, knowledge of the game and, you know, how we study our film, how we break down our film. How we should go about being a pro, and how we should attack games, how we should attack every practice and stuff like that. I can't put it all into words. He's a true blessing for real.
Speak to Trayshawn Devone's development and how he has had a whale of a season. So kind of evaluate him from your side of things, and how cool it has been seeing him. Just, he's got so much playing time, and he's taking advantage of that too.
Yeah, man. This goes back. This goes way, way back to when I even first got here. Trey D he's just had a story, and he's telling his story without speaking, just putting it out there with his play. This season, I mean, we worked really hard in the summer as a group. I mean, with the safeties as well, we just worked really hard this summer. And what he's doing on the field, he's playing really good ball, and I expect it from him. I know Coach Mott expects it from him, and it's nothing new to us. We know what he can do, and like I said, we've been planting seeds this whole offseason. It started in the spring. You know, he's been working really hard, and I think it's really showing. You know, and he's a quiet dude, so I'll talk for him. He's playing some really good ball, for real.
Yeah, he's a fascinating story. He was up at the podium a few weeks ago. Just cool to see the way y'all have kind of grown up there together in your respective positions there. I got a hypothetical for you, okay? And to kind of mix it into some special teams. Would you rather have everything being equal, would you rather have a pick six or a punt return for a touchdown? You can
pick six.
Okay. So.
For sure. I obviously, you know, scoring a punt return touchdown, I haven't done yet, but a pick six would yeah.
Okay.
For
you
sure.
answer that.
Being a DB.
Okay. Because you see yourself more as a DB, or
of course
both would be amazing, right?
Of course. You know, that's my position. That's my job. You know, obviously, you know, it's my job, but I have fun doing it. But, yeah, that's my job. I would definitely much rather have a pick six.
Okay. For those, listen, he just lit up when he said that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I dream about. You know, I go to sleep, you know, pick six, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Did you have a favorite player or two growing up? Like kind of the middle between Texans, Cowboys country. Who was your favorite player?
Yeah, I'm not a Texans fan or a Cowboys fan.
I remember you telling me this now.
But yeah, I mean, growing up, I was actually an offensive-minded guy. Like, I always wanted to play offense. I played offense my whole life. I didn't really start getting into, like, cornerback and defense until my sophomore year in high school. So my favorite player was actually Tyreek Hill. You know, just being a smaller guy, fast guy, looked up to guys like that. other than that, I really didn't have like a model that I looked up to. I always just thought of myself like, I wanna be here. I look to my dad as well. So yeah.
Yeah. You also, I read you're a baseball player in high school. I don't think I've ever asked you. Can I assume center field or shortstop in
center
there?
Field,
okay.
Field, yep.
So
I pitched a little bit here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we throwing here? We got a good.
No, straight fastball.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing too special.
Okay, so I don't have to put a good word in for Coach Cruz. I know him.
You could, but yeah. Yeah, center field though.
Hey, discuss the last couple games, what you guys need to do coming down this home stretch. You obviously want to play as much football. What are some of the things? You're one of those team leaders now. What do you guys have to do these last 2 games?
I think it's all about execution, honestly. We prepare so well throughout each and every week, and our preparation just gets better every week. We just have to go out on the field and execute it, whether it's special teams, offense, or defense, because I don't think what we're doing out there needs to just change. But our effort is good. I just think we need to go out there and just beat the man in front of us every single play and doing it consistently. So if we do that, I don't really think any team is gonna be able to come out there and play with us.
I like the sound of that. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
you so much.
it. The one and the only number one in our hearts, Sean Fresh.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we'll have cornerbacks coach Jeremy Montkins up here at the high table. This is the Mike Bloomgren Show. Stay tuned. Back right after this. This is Rice Football from Learfield.
Big trip on the horizon? Before you depart, you gotta park. The parking spot is a simpler, easier way to navigate airport parking, and you can save when you book online. You're guaranteed a spot, and we even pick you up at your trunk in our yellow and black spotted shuttles and take you straight to the terminal. Parking and saving come full circle at the parking spot. The Parking Spot, proud sponsor of Rice University. Visit theparkingspot.com to reserve your spot today.
Shoppers has the right John Deere for your piece of Texas. If you're looking for a tractor, gator, or lawnmower, let the experts at Shoppers give you the right answers to your John Deere questions. Shoppers makes buying a piece of John Deere equipment easy with our online Build It, Price It, Own It tool. You can add attachments specific to your needs or check out our ready-to-go John Deere tractor packages. See all that Shoppers has to offer by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. Shoppers, equipment for your piece of Texas, and proud sponsors of Rice Owl Athletics.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Owls fans, you may not think of yourself as an athlete, but everyday life is full of athletic feats. You bend, you reach, you lift, you twist until back, neck, or shoulder pain hits, which brings you to a stop. So whether you're an athlete or not, the Joint Chiropractic can help ease your pain and keep you on the active list. Visit any of our 40-plus Houston area locations or thejoint.com today to get your first consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Rice University Athletics.
Highlighting the Owls on the gridiron. Welcome back to the Mike Bloomgren Show.
Yes. Stay tuned. Coming up here in just a second. Thank you. We got some good fans out here tonight. We have Jessica Morey, Director of On-Campus Recruiting, coming up next segment. She's waiting. I can tell she's nervous. She is just petrified. She's such an introvert, Then we'll have Coach Bloomgren come back and talk about Biff Poggi and his Charlotte 49ers, but joined now by the aforementioned first-year corners coach, Jeremy Montkins of our Rice House. Coach, how are things?
Doing good. Appreciate you having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on. So kind of where Sean left off there, a reverse question for you. What's it been like here in your first year coaching these guys? And you probably won't brag on yourself, but there's been noticeable improvement with the guys out there. So what have you seen from your coaching in these guys?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's just a blessing being here, being able to coach for Coach Bloomgren. And of course, it starts with the leadership. Just a phenomenal place. Rice is right here in the city of Houston, which is also a great place to live with your family. And my appreciation is to those guys at the university. It starts with the leadership, and then I'm just a trickle-down effect of that, But working with Fresh and then Trady and the rest of the corner group has been awesome. those guys put their head down and work, and that's all you could ask.
Yeah, Chuck was helping me with some numbers earlier. Trey D, a career high in pass breakup. Sean has tied his career high. What's gone into that? Obviously, a lot of teaching and a lot of learning, but what's gone into that as far as
like Fresh hit on? We plant a lot of seeds, man, and it started back when the springtime when I first got here, and they trusting and believing in the work ethic, and then also going out and planting those seeds daily. I think that's where what you see now that is coming to fruition for them, and so I really appreciate those guys, man. They put their head down, they work, and you can't ask for anything better than that as a coach.
Mm-hmm. So you played at TCU, and Coach mentioned your time in the NFL as well, but I want to back up and talk to how does a guy that accomplished so much would come from Big Marlin, Texas. You got to try to find that on a map, I know. And so kind of discuss your path and what motivates you to get into coaching after such a good playing career.
Well, being from Marlin, and I'm glad they, just made it to the second round of playoffs.
Okay.
It's been a while for those guys. Normally we've been pretty successful playing football there, but it was tough. I think whenever you come from a small town, you got to have a great work ethic about you, and you got to be consistent, and you got to be persistent about what you're doing in life. And I had an example, which was my older brother, who also came from Marlin, and I saw he laid the roadmap out for me pretty much on how to get to where I was trying to go. And he went to TCU, and I kind of followed in his footsteps. Mm-hmm. And, he coached, and now I'm coaching too. So I just kind of followed in the footsteps that he laid out for me with that path, and it's been successful for me.
So your brother was your first coaching mentor?
Yep.
Okay. When did you know that might be a possibility? Was that towards the end of your playing career, or do you always think, hey, when I'm done with this, give coaching a try? And he was mixed in there too, or?
Yeah, when I was in high school, I would go spend the summers with him, and that was kind of my way of getting out of Marlin and also training. And then when I would go back to Marlin, I would get all the guys together, and then I would find myself in that role, just kind of coaching and showing guys on what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And it just kind of led into my playing career as well. When I played safety at TCU, the safeties are pretty much the quarterback of the defense at the time. And so I was pretty much doing the same role and coaching on the field and playing ball at the same time. And so it was just a natural carryover for me once I got done playing.
So I understand while you were the top recruit for your brother, he was instrumental in bringing another former Marlin Bulldog to TCU, who was obviously at Waco University. Tell us that story about a halfway decent running back it ended up being.
Yep, well, LaDainian is actually from Marlin. Yeah. LaDainian Thomas we're talking about. He's actually from Marlin. He ended up moving to Waco, and my brother actually found him out of Waco at University High. And so, but LaDainian's gone on to do great things. I don't know, him and my brother, they'll still have a really good relationship with each other, so that's pretty cool. To see. So.
That turned out okay, I guess, for him.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good recruiting hit, you think?
Oh, yeah, really good, really good. And they actually tried to make LaDainian a fullback at one point at TCU. Can you believe that?
Yeah, perfect segue. I was going to ask you about Coach Patterson, his knowledge and ability to mold guys in the past. What was it like playing for him and also coaching under him? I guess you got to see both sides of a guy that's got a statue now outside of that stadium there.
Yes, sir. And so my first year as a player was his first year as head coach.
Wow.
And so it's been awesome to kind of see his transformation as far as his growth and as far as coaching. I think that's been really cool to see. But just playing for him, man, you learn attention to detail. You learn the small things matter. And then they just carry over as a coach. I think one of the most important lessons that I learned was to be the head coach of your position. And that details do matter. 3 inches this way is a big difference. And I think at times you don't understand that when you're a player, but on the other side of it, you really get it as a coach.
Okay, so no late night guitar sessions probably when you're a player, but as an assistant coach under him, no?
No, not too much late night guitar sessions. Only with recruits that happened. Okay. Outside of that, we was watching some good movies, and by that I mean film.
Yeah, of course. So tell us what stands out about Charlotte from your position side. Looking at them, they graduated some tough receivers, but Charlotte's they hit the portal pretty hard on their side. What have you seen from their offenses and their receiver skill position side?
Well, I think you can tell that they're well coached. I think those guys do a good job of mixing things up, and they make you honest to what you do. You have to do your job. If you don't, eventually they'll hit you with a big play. Yeah. And so then they got 2 quarterbacks that are pretty solid that they rotate. One can run and one can throw.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, thanks for the time.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you coming up here.
You do a really good job yourself.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Humbling saying that. Thank you. Stay tuned. Thank you to Jeremy Montkins, cornerbacks coach of our Rice Owls. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we talk some recruiting with Jessica Morey, Director of On-Campus Recruiting. Maybe a little broadcasting. I don't know. We'll talk about that, too. Stay tuned. Coming up next, it's the Acme Oyster House, the Mike Bloomgren Show live here. This is the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Hey, Oscar, wake up. Hi, this is Otis and Oscar, the talking spokes oysters for Acme Oyster House. You've probably seen us on TV. My friend Oscar is, sleeping. You know, we oysters like our pets. Anyway, drop by tonight for a dozen raw, a dozen char grilled, a seafood platter or po' boy, and maybe a few laughs. Come Acme, bro. Not you. Acme Oyster House. Life's more fun with seafood.
At True Anomaly Brewing, our greatest achievement lives in knowing that everything we've learned is yours to enjoy. While it may not be rocket science, we brew with the same detail and dedication learned while running mission operations for NASA. Taking risks is part of our DNA. We don't take them just to say we did, we take them because of the result. Bold brews we're proud to share with fellow adventure seekers. True Anomaly Brewing, beer for the explorers.
The newly renovated Houston Marriott Medical Center Museum District is a proud new sponsor of Rice University Athletics. For visiting families and fans, the closest hotel to Rice University is delighted to offer preferred rates. Guests will enjoy 2 new restaurants, a new exclusive M Club lounge, and complimentary shuttle service within 2 miles of the hotel. Visit Marriott.com to learn more.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
Getting blitzed. Down he goes.
The speed.
40, there he goes. Down the sideline.
College football.
For the end zone. Got it for 6 points. You can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the barn. Back to the end zone. 30, 20.
This is the College Football Bliss. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
This is the Mike Bloomgren Show, live at Acme Oyster House. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes. Welcome back here at Acme Oyster House. Next week, the great birthday boy, Nate Griffin, will be hosting, and that'll be before the Rice FAU game. And right now we're joined by Director of On-Campus Recruiting for our Owls, Jessica Morey. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Outstanding. I was joking with her during the break. We can't have guests that can host a show better than I can. So
that is not true at all.
we got to work on that. No, for those that don't know your bio, and I learned an interesting other tidbit there. You were telling me in the break. Discuss your broadcasting path and how you kind of developed wanting to get into the recruiting side of things, and that came to fruition here on South Main.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I went to school for sports broadcasting and worked in TV for a handful of years as a sports reporter.
What
anchor.
school again?
Oklahoma State.
That's right.
And I worked in Denison, Texas and Waco, Texas, and then went back to Oklahoma State to be the team reporter for the athletic department there. But when I was in Waco, I kind of realized, I didn't really want to do TV full-time anymore, and I wanted to still utilize the connections I had made in Texas high school football, and didn't really know how to go about doing that. I actually had to sit down with Baylor head coach Matt Rule, and we talked about that, and I kind of just brought up, I have all these connections. I want to stay in football. I don't know what to do. And he was like, recruiting. You got to get into recruiting. And so he kind of helped me with my path there. And then I tried, and it's difficult when you didn't have the experience. So it was hard to kind of get that experience. I was at Oklahoma State. That helped. And then I applied to lots of jobs, and luckily this one came open, and it worked out perfectly because I'm back in the state of Texas where I can utilize all of those coaching connections and all things like that. So it worked out really well, and I get to work with head coach Mike Bloomgren, who's obviously one of the best in the business. So excited, so blessed that he gave me that opportunity.
So now you've done it a couple years. What have you liked most about the job, and is there something that you didn't expect from the job?
Oh, that's a good question.
Fastballs, fastballs.
I've really enjoyed every bit of it. It's really fun. It's really cool to get to see, I think some of the coolest things was, that 2023 recruiting class was my first recruiting class. Against Texas Southern this year, a lot of them got to see playing time. And I remember I was sitting in the stands with Chase Jenkins' mom and watching that game against Texas Southern, and I got to see, Chase in at quarterback and Justin Williams at wide receiver and Drayden Dickman out there and Landon Ransom and Dalen Alexander, and I was just like, that's what recruiting, like, that was so cool to see, and I just felt so much pride being able to see them go out there and live out their dream and, getting to watch them compete every day. We have, we do some scrimmages with the younger guys, and getting to go out and watch those and watch them shine is really, really cool. So that's been something really fun to see, and getting to be a part of that and part of, their success has been really cool.
So I know I don't remember all the bylaws and all the rules, but I know recruiting season is constant, maybe 363 days of the year. So kind of explain day to day, and depending on in season and out of season, what your gig is. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, it's pretty, different every day, which is what makes it awesome. I don't think I could do a job where it's the same thing every single day. So it's really cool to get to do different things all of the time. So, in season, we're planning game day visits. The week leading up to a home game, we're planning, from making name tags to figuring out who's coming, to getting, big light up letters ready, to decorations, things like that. Planning all of that, getting ready for that. And then getting ready for coming up now, official visit season. It's about to get crazy. We're going to have, it's going to be so much fun. We're going to get to have a lot of visits and a lot of really good food and a lot of really fun times. So I'm super excited about that. And then, it's just preparing a lot of the time, getting ready. Once we get into spring, it's having recruits at practice and getting to show them around and chat with them and, giving tours and things like that. So it's really fun.
And the big one is coming up in December, right?
Yes.
Discuss that and how that, obviously, before the first signing day now, that we have two of them, that leads going down the recruiting calendar.
It's actually really cool. I think it's something fairly unique that we do here at Rice, where we will attempt to official visit the entire class. So for the 2023 group, we official visited 19, and it was our class, all of the guys from that class, minus a few walk-ons. And so they all get to be together at once. And so we have a group chat, we talk. Some of them are friends if they're from close by, but this is their opportunity for them to all be together and get to hang out and become friends. And by the end of that weekend, they already know who their roommates are going to be. They're already so excited to decide and get ready. They're already, just ready to go. Because when you come to school, obviously, especially if you're coming from further away, it's hard to adjust. But when you're going in already with your best friends, I mean, that's awesome. So this gives them an opportunity to, ease into it and have their friends. And it's really cool to see that kind of build. Like, I got to watch that, and I got to see the guys become really close. And now, they still obviously all hang out, and it's really good to have them here on campus. So we will do the same thing for our 2024s.
Did you play sports growing up? Do you have a favorite sport to play growing up?
I'm super unathletic.
Join the club.
Yeah. I skateboarded for like 8 years.
Okay.
That was going to be my career until my dad told me to go to college. Thankfully, he did. And I actually played high school football.
That's right.
At Flower Mound High School, and my freshman year, and I was really bad. Sean was up here talking about his 40 time. I ran a 5.8 40, so I don't think I can compete with Sean. But that was my fastest there. So they didn't make me rerun that.
You had the closing speed, though. You weren't quick off the line, but you could close.
Something like that.
The hard hit, right?
Something like that.
That's awesome. So also still keeping in the broadcasting side of things, got to put up with me coming up on Sunday. So
I'm so excited for that.
Best of luck to both of us.
Oh my gosh,
right?
yeah. We're going to be calling the Rice women's basketball game against St. Mary's 2 o'clock on ESPN Plus. So really excited. I'll be doing sideline and you'll be doing play-by-play. So that's really fun. That's something I got to do when I was at Oklahoma State. I was a sideline reporter for men's and women's basketball there. So really excited that I'll get the opportunity to do that again. That's going to be really fun.
I know already you'll be great at it. So.
Thanks. It's going to be a good time. I'm excited. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Jessica Moore, Director of On-Campus Recruiting, joining us here at the high table. Stay tuned. Coming up next, Coach Bloomgren back to preview those Charlotte 49ers. It's the Mike Bloomgren Show live here at Acme Oyster House from Learfield.
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment. 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling, the official beer partner of Rice Athletics, and now available for purchase everywhere in Texas. The Yingling Company, Fort Worth, Texas. Please enjoy responsibly.
Big trip on the horizon? Before you depart, you gotta park. The parking spot is a simpler, easier way to navigate airport parking, and you can save when you book online. You're guaranteed a spot, and we even pick you up at your trunk in our yellow and black spotted shuttles and take you straight to the terminal. Parking and saving come full circle at the parking spot. The Parking Spot, proud sponsor of Rice University. Visit theparkingspot.com to reserve your spot today.
Rice teams and traditions are legendary. Our team as strategic wealth designers are proud to be a partner of Rice Athletics. What an honor to be working together. When you're ready to discuss your financial future, call the team the Owls trust. We look forward to creating your winning strategy for retirement. Visit us at swdgroup.com today and go Owls.
Football fans are passionate, just like John Deere fans. And if you're a John Deere person, the name to know is Shoppers. In football, it's about calling the right plays. The right call for John Deere equipment is Shoppers. Shoppers has a right-sized John Deere tractor with attachments for any job. You can build your tractor online with Shoppers' exclusive Build It, Price It, Own It tool. See all our John Deere specials by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. It's time for you to make the right call. Shoppers, equipment for your piece of Texas, and proud sponsor of Rice Owl Athletics.
You're listening to the latest on Owls football with the head coach, Mike Bloomgren. Now, let's go back inside Acme Oyster House.
Joined by Mike Bloomgren again to chat about the Charlotte 49ers. First up, how about young Jessica there and her role with you and the staff there? Can you make her blush for me?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do that. That's too easy. I can get it, But talk about those other two for a second. Can't you see how unbelievable it would be to be in that corner room with those two? Yeah. And just, again, so blessed to have both those guys. Now back to Jessica. She's so comfortable behind a microphone. She's that way with recruits and their families. She's so good at her job. It's been an unbelievable addition for our program. I got to be honest, though, when we made the decision to have her on tonight, I didn't know if we'd get to this segment because she is capable of talking a little bit. And if you had asked her about Travis Kelce's girlfriend, we never would have got to the end of the show.
Golly.
Yeah.
To write that down. So, no, you have no thoughts. I guess you'd know more about Kelce than Travis Kelce's girlfriend, right?
Yeah, I know like old school Taylor Swift songs. I really don't know the modern stuff, but I hear it blasting down the hallways nowadays.
All right, we talked about Coach Poggi's team earlier. How about his connection to Coach Harbaugh? And are you starting to see, even though it's 10 games into his tenure, what he's trying to do with being kind of the right-hand man to Coach Harbaugh at that time?
Yeah, they're a physical team, and he brought in a lot of ties to Michigan, starting with their defensive coordinator. It's a guy that seems to know that defense really well and is going to attack, and that's what you see. So, and a lot of those same players that he coached in high school, some of them were with him at Michigan, but just the melting pot of talent that they brought in there is unbelievable. It really is. And we talked about number 0 earlier and how talented he is, and the linebacker. Just the sheer amount of transfers. They got 13 seniors that will be going through senior day, and none of them started their career there. So if you need like a PowerPoint slide of how different college football is now, that pretty much sums it up. But, I think everybody talks about Deion and what he's done at Colorado with the roster switch. There's very few people on this team today that we played against last year. And so it's a completely different team. He's building it with a lot of talent, and he's got those guys playing incredibly hard, and they're absolutely on an upswing. You look at what they've done with Trexler Ivy being in there at quarterback and how much better they've been on offense the last 2 games. I think they had a stretch for 5 games where they didn't score over 16 points. In the last two, I think they scored 33 and 38 respectively, and they look like a really good football team. And that's with pieces missing. You know, the guy that ran for 200 isn't on the roster still. You know, he's a guy that had 1 carry last year and 0 this year. And he averaged 8.3 a carry last Saturday, and that's Hashawn Wilson. So a lot of talent on the football team. There's no questioning that. We're going to have to prepare and have a great week of prep. And then we're going to have to go out there and perform to get this win that we want.
You mentioned running the ball in offense, defense. What are some of the things they'd like to do with that coordinator that came over?
Yeah, so they do a great job with their edge rushers attacking the passer, whether they call it pressure or not. And as a matter of fact, the pressure numbers are lower than we've seen from a lot of people, you know, but they're doing a good job with it. They're covering people. They're running a lot of man coverage. So I think and maybe that's something, maybe the increase in man coverage and their ability to cover people on the outside has helped them hold opponents down in total points. But the ability to run the ball and how the quarterback, Trexler Ivy's being efficient for them, has just made them a different team in the last few games.
So still no cut-off sleeves. Can't talk you into it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what we can do, you know. I don't know. Probably not. Probably not.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Let's go get them.
Dunleavy family head football coach of our Rice Owls, Mike Bloomgren. Yeah, we've got Rice and Charlotte coming up Saturday. Earlier kick, 1 o'clock Houston time. And 12:30, Nate and Walter and I will be on air there from the Queen City of Charlotte. And it's on ESPN Plus as well. You can sync us up, syncmygame.com. So many to thank for this one tonight. Thanks to Jeremy Montkins, Owls cornerbacks coach. Thanks to Sean Fresh for joining us. Told him, be a broadcaster, man. You can make the real big bucks. So get that NFL career. And also thank you to Director of On-Campus Recruiting, Jessica Morey. Got a favorite Swiftie album, or what's our? I'm kind of Lover. Okay, obviously that would. Okay,
of course.
I'll punch it up. Thanks, boss. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. That's Coach Bloomgren. I'm JP. Have a great rest of this night. God bless. Go Owls. Rice Fight. We will talk to you coming up Saturday from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's been the Mike Bloomgren Show live here at Acme Oyster House from Learfield.
On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield, you've been listening to the Mike Bloomgren Show.